Let's go! Now it's time for the Robb Johnson Sports Show, presented by the Legacy Maker Sports Network. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Robb Johnson Sports Show, a special edition. Every week now, I'll try to be doing at least 2 shows for you guys, at least 2 shows, 2 during the week and 1 on Sunday night with me and Larry Pass. And even sometimes I may not have Larry on Sunday nights, but that's okay. I'll be on there. But hey, Robb Johnson Sports Show, episode 54. Let's talk about some stuff. First of all, let's get into the not WNBA. We'll get to WNBA in a second. Let's talk about the NBA. Folks, what we saw the other night was an annihilation. What we saw was a team in the Boston Celtics who wanted to win the NBA Finals. We saw a Boston team who we know is the best team in the league. Not only are they the best team in the league, they're the best defensive team in the league. We look at Kyrie Irving, we look at Luka Doncic. I know a lot of people want to blame these two. People want to say that Kyrie did not show up in the NBA Finals. Folks, it's not that Kyrie didn't show up in the NBA Finals. What it is that the Boston Celtics defense was so elite that they made Kyrie submit basically on the court. When he went to Boston, he knew that he had no chance to deal with that crowd. When he went to Boston, he knew that they were going to be hard on him. Luka Doncic has to make sure that he continues to play better defense. Hey, Snowman Media. What's going on, Snowman? How you doing, sir? Make sure you guys check out Snowman Multimedia. Make sure you check out the Legacy Maker Sports Network. Make sure you check out all the different type of people who do sports out here. Drew Willingham, everybody here in the Legacy Maker Sports Network, things like that. Just want to give a quick promo to some of the people I've worked with before and after. It's just not that Boston made them quit. Boston's a better team. If you really think about it, Boston has the same effects that the Denver Nuggets had last year, because last year the Denver Nuggets faced a lot of teams who had injuries. You look at the Boston Celtics this year, Miami, they had injuries. You go to the second round, you had issues with injuries again. You go to the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers actually gave the Boston Celtics a real run for their money. They gave the Boston Celtics a real run for their money, and I feel like if Halliburton had not been hurt, then you would have had a situation where the Pacers would have been more competitive in that series. But you come to this series, I believe the critical game was Game 3. Game 3 where Luka Doncic finally had Kyrie Irving going off. Kyrie Irving was finally doing his thing. He was finally playing good basketball, and Luka just could not get him the rock. Did he not trust Kyrie? What was going on in that situation? We don't know. But what I will say is that Game 3 was very pivotal, because I believe if Dallas wins that game, we have a series. I believe if Dallas wins Game 3, Luka does not foul out, is not crying to the referees, Dallas has a chance to make this series even more interesting. I believe we're still playing if that does not happen. Dallas has a lot of soul searching to do. Now, there are rumors. There are rumors that they want to draft Bronny James. I believe that would be a mistake. Bronny should be an undrafted free agent. From all reports, if you can believe the reports out there, he wants to go play with his father, right? He wants to go and play with LeBron James in Los Angeles, at least play with his father somewhere. Now, do I think that LeBron James could end up, I know we're going a little bit off topic here, we're talking about the NBA Finals, but do I think LeBron James could end up in a Dallas Mavericks uniform? I don't know. Do I think that LeBron James would want to play with his son in Dallas? That I can't answer you. But what I will say is this: they're going to have to figure something out in Dallas because you're not going to have the same opportunities next year. You got to understand, everybody. Last year, the Miami Heat were an 8 seed, right? This year, the Dallas Mavericks were a 5 seed. The odds of you getting back and you doing what you did last year, I mean, this past season, is very slim to none. They say Luke is still young, and yes, he's still young. What is he, 20, 24, 25 years old? Can he get back to that same echelon? Can he get back that same magic? It's not guaranteed. The West is going to be better. You're going to have better coaches. You're going to have better players. Players are going to come back from injury. Even on the Boston Celtics end, you're going to have teams who get healthy in the East. I'm looking at the New York Knicks next year as a team that's going to be very good, in my opinion. You bring in more players. You bring in more capital. You build that bench up, and that's what you got. You got a better team. You got a team in Milwaukee who's going to be hungry. They're going to be back. So you look at it all around and you diagnose the situation, and you have to continue to ask yourself, will these two teams be back in the NBA Finals? If you're asking my honest opinion, because I'm looking at these two teams, I'm looking at especially Boston with their elite defense. Do I believe that Boston can get back? Yeah, you're damn right. I think Boston can get back. I definitely think Boston can get back. Problem is with Boston, again, they have to deal with a tougher East next year. And I'm looking at a team like Indiana. People can say whatever they want to about the Indiana Pacers. For me, the Indiana Pacers are a team that you have to watch out for. The Indiana Pacers just saw Pascal Siakam to was it a 4 or 5 year deal worth about $189+ million. So they're locking their players up. They know who they want. They know who they want. They know who they want to bring in and keep. And Siakam is a big piece for the Indiana Pacers. So looking at both of these teams, trying to figure out who's going to be back. If it's me, I'm thinking Boston. Because the West is so difficult and there's so many good teams. If we think that Denver's not going to get better, we're kidding ourselves. If we think that the Nuggets are not hungry to get back, we are absolutely kidding ourselves in that situation. So I really do feel that see here. I had to check out something. Oh, I had to make sure I let you guys know I will be doing one-on-one with Darrell Owens this year. So one-on-one with Darrell Owens and Robb Johnson. Darrell Owens has been doing a great job with the one-on-ones all for years now since the pandemic, and I will be doing a one-on-one with Darrell Owens. So that's something that I think that's going to be very special. Something else that's going to be special is tonight, the WNBA. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we got 2 games. Well, we got more than 2 games, but 2 games, in my opinion, that are going to be very interesting to watch. Now, the first game and the full slate of games, we have Washington and Indiana, Atlanta, Minnesota, Seattle, Las Vegas. No offense to Atlanta Dream, but the Minnesota Lynx right now, they're 11-3, and they're just dominating folks a little bit too much. So I think Minnesota is going to take that game tonight. The first game I want to talk about, folks, is this one right here. We got Indiana against Washington. See, folks, Washington started the season off poorly. We all know Della Don is not there. We all know that Della Don had to take her break or whatnot. But right now, you have the 5-10 Indiana Fever against the 2-12 Washington Mystics. Thing is this. Washington's been playing a lot better basketball. Washington is getting better by the game. However, the Indiana Fever are playing good basketball as well. If you want to compare the stats, Indiana's average is 79.3 points per game, 76.1 for the Washington Mystics. 3-point field goals, 8.4. Indiana's a 9.2, which is 4th, and then 5th, 9.2 for Washington. Off rebounds, 32.3 for the Indiana Fever and 32.1 for the Washington Mystics. So they're both the 12th and 11th team in rebounding. So that means neither team can rebound that well. But when I look at a team like Indiana, they're 5-10. They're playing better than a 2-game winning streak. They have to play within themselves tonight. Aaliyah Boston, get her the ball inside. Let her get the fouls on the rookie. Let her get some fouls on the other team. Allow her to play her game. Caitlin Clark, she's gonna play her game. She's gonna have rebounds. She's gonna have assists. She's going to do things like that because she is a dynamic player. Not the greatest athletic player in the world, but she has enough athleticism. She had enough athleticism to be top 5 in her draft in her high school class. Her Angel Reese, blah blah blah, top 5. I believe she was number 3 in that class. I believe it was 2019, 2020. So she's a good player. But what I want to see from Indiana tonight is I want to continue to see them get the ball through Aaliyah Boston. I want to see Aaliyah Boston get the ball. And as Aaliyah Boston is dominating, what I want to see is I want to see her have better assists. So basically what I'm saying is this. If you're Indiana, what you want is you want the ball to go through Aaliyah Boston. And then what you want to do after that is you want to get the ball to players like Kelsey Mitchell. You want to get the ball to players like Alicia Smith. She's having a decent season. Her game log, I believe her game high this year was 30 against Seattle. That may have been the preseason. I don't think that was the preseason. Let's see. No, yeah, that was a regular season game. That was her game high in a regular season game back on May the 30th. So if you're Indiana, you have decent players. Stop saying Indiana doesn't have good players. They have good players, okay? They won 13 games last year. When you add a Caitlin Clark, if she is as good as we think she can be and what we know she can be, Indiana should win at least 20 games. Indiana won 13 games last year, and right now they're sitting in the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. That means they would make the playoffs. That's what I'm saying, folks. That's why this game against Washington is so critical. They have a game Friday night in Atlanta, and then they have to go to Chicago, which me and Larry Patterson will be previewing. We will not be previewing, I'm sorry, but we will be talking about that game, recapping it on Sunday. But if you look at their schedule coming down right here, they have Indiana. I'm sorry, they have Atlanta. They have Chicago. They have to go to Seattle. Then they have to go to Phoenix. If Indiana can somehow, let's see here, Washington, Atlanta, Chicago, Seattle, and Phoenix, if they can somehow, some way, and then on July the 2nd, they have the Aces, and they got to play the Liberty. So that's a tough game. That's a tough 7-game stretch, folks. If they can at least win 4 out of 7 or better, they're going to be in good shape to make the playoffs. So they have to do that. And as far as the Mystics go, just continue to build. Just continue to build. You got Ariel Atkins. You got Aaliyah Edwards, who's your rookie. She's been playing a lot better. Her game high this year was 23 against Chicago on June the 6th. I believe they lost that game as well. Yeah, they lost that game by 8, but Aaliyah Edwards had her best production that game. Brittany Sykes, she's back. She's only been back 3 games. But as you see, when Brittany Sykes is playing, that team is better. So we'll see how that goes. Tonight, we have Washington and Indiana at 7 p.m. That game will be broadcasted on NBA TV. And let's see here. Seattle, we have 2 games on NBA TV tonight. We have that game. Then we have Las Vegas against Seattle. This is such a pivotal game, and it's an important game. And I don't have to spend too much time on this, because we already know why it's pivotal. We got Chelsea Gray coming back, ladies and gentlemen. We got Chelsea Gray coming back. This is what the Las Vegas Aces needed. They needed Chelsea Gray to come back because now Asia Wilson, who is averaging, folks, what is it, 28? She's averaging 28 points per game, which right now would give her the all-time single season lead, beating Diana Taurasi's 2006 record. That's huge for me. The Seattle Storm team, the best they've played since Breanna Stewart left the team. And Jewell Loyd is having a hell of a season, guys. Jewell Loyd is playing some good basketball. I remember covering her in the WNBA Finals. If I get those highlights one day, I'm gonna show those to you guys. She's just amazing. Jewell Loyd is amazing. You have a lot of good players. You have Diggins on there now. They've done a really good job in building that team up. Skylar Diggins Smith, who is, let me see, her season. Let's see, her high this year is 20. She has 21 three times against Dallas, against Vegas, and against Chicago. No, I'm sorry. Her high was against Minnesota, May 17th. So that was May 17th, and I'm hoping that wasn't the preseason. That should not have been the preseason, but yeah. Anyway, either way, she's been playing good this season. Seattle's playing better. They've won 8 out of the last 10 games. So, in my opinion, when I look at these two games tonight, I have Indiana winning. I have Indiana winning. I think they're the better team between them and Washington. And then I have Las Vegas winning. The energy of having Chelsea Gray back, I believe, is really going to help this basketball team. A'ja Wilson, I believe, is going to put up a great game again, a good points and rebounding game, because that's A'ja Wilson. That's how great A'ja Wilson is. Next up, I told them they didn't want to listen to me. I said the other day, folks, that Indiana. I'm sorry, not Indiana. I'm distracted because somebody's playing music. And I can't hear. And hopefully I won't get somebody's playing music, and hopefully I won't get a copyright, because you know how YouTube is, and the Facebook and all this other stuff. If there's music in the background, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's a copyright," and I hate that. But somebody's playing music or whatever. Anyway, when you look at this game, when you look at the game last night between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid, 2 assists, 2 goals. 2 assists, 2 goals. Connor McDavid is a great player. And I understand that a lot of people don't really watch hockey like that, or like they may have used to do. I know a lot of people, when they talk about hockey, the only name they can really mention is Wayne Gretzky. Connor McDavid is legitimate. Connor McDavid is the freaking truth. Florida was up 3-0. And I said this the other day. I said, Boston, you better win. I said, Florida, you better win. Now, this goes back to Edmonton Friday night. Edmonton is going to be on fire. I believe Edmonton wins. And I said the other day that if Edmonton were to win Game 5, this was going to a Game 7. And it's going to go to a Game 7, folks. Because Edmonton, in my opinion, Edmonton beat Dallas. And everyone knows I'm a Dallas Stars fan. But at the end of the day, what you also have to realize is this. You also have to realize that Edmonton went through a gauntlet in the West. The West was difficult. So did Florida. But when you look at Edmonton, everything they've gone through, they don't have the greatest goaltending. Stuart Skinner has been much maligned throughout the season. But what I will say is this. They show up at the biggest moments. Edmonton shows up at the biggest moments. They don't quit. They want to get that championship back to Canada. So if you're Florida on Friday night, you got to take advantage of your power plays. You got to play physical hockey. You have to score often and early, meaning you have to get up on these guys early in this game. You cannot let Connor McDavid get off. If you have to rough him up, if you have to rough up Connor McDavid, that's what you just got to do. If you got to get sent to the penalty box for a few minutes, hey, that's what you got to do. If Edmonton's going to have more power plays than you, that's just what it has to be. You have to physically go into Edmonton and knock these guys around, because I'm telling you right now, that crowd is going to be electric. If you allow Edmonton to start scoring early, if Connor McDavid gets off early, this going to Game 7, and if it gets back to Florida, all bets are off at that point. All bets are off. So if you're Florida, you better take advantage of this. You better take advantage of this. You got 2 games. Florida Panthers, you got 2 games to win the Stanley Cup. 2 games. You better take advantage of it, because if you don't, it's a good chance you may lose that 3-0 lead. And again, if this gets to a game 7, all bets are off. Next, folks, we have something new we have here on Rob Johnson Sports Show. Everybody knows on my other show, the No BS Sports Zone, which I promise you, the No BS Sports Zone will be coming back soon, where we have Book It or Shut It. Now we have this new one. It's called Fantasy Pick of the Day. We also have that coming this Sunday from me and Larry Patterson. That's our new segment. It's called Fantasy Pick of the Day. I'll come up with a cool graphic for it very soon. The pick today, folks, is who we picking. The fantasy pick of the day. Allen Iverson versus Kyrie Irving in their prime. Who are you taking? Iverson versus Irving in their prime, 1-on-1. Who are you taking? Well, Allen Iverson, 6 feet. Kyrie Irving, around 6'2". Kyrie Irving has averaged about 23 points per game in the playoffs, while Iverson has averaged around 29 career. Allen Iverson, 26 points per game career, while Kyrie Irving has averaged about 23. Iverson's played around 904 games, while Kyrie Irving's played around, and I'm trying to remember, I don't want to look at my notes, but around 726 or so games. Kyrie Irving still has a decent amount of years left in his career. The only difference is Kyrie has a championship. Now, 1-on-1, who would win? When you're talking about 2 guys who have some of the best handles in NBA history, that's tough. Who has the better jump shot? Kyrie Irving. Who has the better drive? That's hard, man. I don't know. So if you ask me to take my pick, who would win a game 1-on-1 between Allen Iverson and Kyrie Irving? As much as I'm a Kyrie Irving fan, in their primes, you talk about in their prime, man, I got to give it to Allen Iverson, man. I got to give it to Allen. I got to give it to AI. Even though Kyrie is great and Kyrie is a champion and he just led his team to the NBA Finals, man, if you're talking about 1-on-1 in their prime, you're talking about 2000, 2001 Allen Iverson when he stepped over Tyrone Lue and he took, Al Snow, and no offense to these guys, but he took Al Snow and he took Snow and he took, I'm not going to say a bunch of nobodies, man, but basically Allen Iverson did what LeBron James did in 06, 07, where he took a bunch of dudes that he had no business being in the NBA Finals, took them to the finals. Allen Iverson, do you understand what Allen Iverson did, folks? He went through Reggie Miller. He went through Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. He went through the Milwaukee Bucks with Ray Allen when Ray Allen was still Jesus. He went through Ray Allen when Ray Allen was still Jesus. Sam Cassell, the big dog. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like Allen Iverson, for all we say about Allen Iverson, the fact that he even beat Kobe and Shaq in that game was amazing. Kyrie had LeBron. Yes, they came back and they beat the Warriors. But he had LeBron. He had K-Love. Who the hell did Allen Iverson have besides an older Mutombo? Who? So I got to take, it's tough. But the fantasy pick of the day, I got to pick Allen Iverson. Now to the last segment of the day. Tell the world how you feel. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we even do tell the world how you feel on a Wednesday. So I want to tell the world how I feel today. Happy Juneteenth to everyone. It's a federal holiday. Let's start making, history in this country needs to be more about everyone's history. So a couple years back, I got in trouble. Not in trouble, but people were mad because I said, get rid of Black History Month, get rid of this month, that month, blah, blah, blah. Let's try to incorporate all history so that people can know all history all year long. Not just 1 month, not just a couple of days, not just, let's celebrate everything all year. Let's get rid of the hate. Let's get rid of the, let's get rid of the BS. Let's do all that, and let's come together as a people. I know that's not going to happen because hatred and knocking each other's head, that's entertaining for a lot of people, unfortunately. Controversy sells, right? So I know it's unrealistic, but all I can say is this. On days like this, Juneteenth, 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, days like this where we understand that people are actually trying to come together, let's be better as people. That's all I can say. Let's be better as people. And most importantly, let me say this. Rest in peace, Sergeant Floyd Miles, who lost his life a couple weeks ago, I believe it was June 9th, because of a situation where somebody did not want to do what they were supposed to do. And unfortunately, he passed, and funeral was today. And I just want to give my condolences. I did the event on Saturday where they did the fundraiser. I just want to send my condolences to the family, send my condolences to everybody who has suffered through the situation. Shout out to the Charles City community. Shout out to my editor, Mr. Andre Jones. I know he's going through a lot of tough times right now, but praying for you. Hopefully everything of the Charles City Chronicle. Hopefully everything is going good for you, sir, and praying for you. And I'm praying for everybody that's going through anything right now. Funerals are tough. Death is tough. Father's Day just passed. A lot of people don't have their fathers anymore. Some people are blessed to still have their fathers here. Some people are still blessed to have their mothers here. So all I can say, folks, is just continue to have good days, and just know that everything is going to be all right. Again, rest in peace, Mr. Floyd, Sergeant Floyd Miles. Charles City community loves you, and that's all I got. You all have a great day. See you on Sunday night. See you on Sunday night for the Rob Johnson Sports Show, episode 55. See you guys. I will also be on Monday doing the NBA Draft Special at 1 p.m. I will also be doing Drew Willingham's show at 9 o'clock on Monday night. And then Gold Standard Wrestling will be on at 11:45 p.m. when I go over NXT. I'm going to try to get some AEW in there, SmackDown, Raw. So we're going to cover all that on Gold Standard Wrestling. It's going to be about an hour or so show because I got a lot to cover. So, hey, you guys have a great day. Be blessed, and make sure you check out the Rob Johnson Sports Show Sunday night at 8:25 p.m. with me and the great Larry Patterson. Y'all have a good one.
It's caught in the crossfire.